Hey, what's up everyone? It's Mark. So I'm doing a little bit of a different video today. I'm not doing any kind of guitar or bag review or, film about some random hidden history. I wanted to touch on YouTube optimization, YouTube SEO, whatever you want to call it. For my day job or what I do for a living, I work in advertising. I do a lot of digital media, but search and YouTube is a big part of it. My channel right now at the time of recording this is around 570 subscribers, which to me is amazing. I can't believe there's so many people that want to subscribe to my videos. But, it's a drop in a bucket to a lot of these bigger YouTube channels. Even though I have less than 600 subscribers, a lot of my videos still get between 80,000, 90,000, even over 100,000 views. And the way I do that is all through YouTube optimization. There's no trickery involved or anything like that. It's just following a lot of YouTube best practices, really making sure that your videos are fully optimized for search. Just like a website, you can fully optimize a YouTube page, an individual video watch page. YouTube is the second largest search engine, and something I always tell my clients, more people search on YouTube than they do on Bing and Yahoo combined. And being that it's owned by Google, YouTube gets a lot of preference within Google search results. So I'm gonna go over some examples of videos I've done where I'm outranking even the brand. So a video I've done recently, I'm outranking Patagonia for a Patagonia product review. I was outranking Peak Design for one of their one of their products. But the way I got started with a lot of this was, back in 2013, 2014, when I have had a channel since 2006, but it was mainly for vacation videos. And when I used to be a DJ playing in South America and Central America, I would post videos. That's all set to private now because the quality's god awful. So I let my channel sit until about 2013 when my girlfriend, then now wife, she got me this acoustic guitar for Christmas. And, I just wanted to use YouTube as kind of a testing bed for what I was going to do at work. So I, did a review about this guitar, made sure I fully optimized the YouTube channel or the page for as much stuff as I could for that individual video. And next thing I know, I started getting like tens of thousands of views, and I was ranking #1 for that guitar. If you search for the model name, I was #1 in Google. If you searched on Google for the same model name, showing up above Fender Guitars, who makes the guitar. So I did this because, all of my clients are Fortune 500 companies that you've heard of, every one of them. And lots of them didn't want to get involved with YouTube at the time. This is, again, 2013, 2014, because they thought that you had to have this crazy catalog of content and keep pumping out content on like a weekly basis to really get any traction on YouTube. And while that may be true, if you're trying to build a channel with subscribers and you want YouTube to suggest your videos to people, you can still rank for search terms, by doing a lot of these basic optimizations. So I want to take you through a bunch of those and, kind of show you how you don't need, like if you're just starting out and you don't have this massive catalog of content, that you can just, optimize your individual videos and show up for a lot of these terms and get a bunch of traffic to your videos, potentially. Again, this is by no means foolproof, but, hopefully these best practices will work for you and get you some traffic to your videos. So check it out. I'm gonna hop over the computer and, attempt a screen recording and show you some of the stuff that I typically do for my videos and give you some examples. So check it out. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm just gonna go through some of the tactics that or more best practices. And again, a lot of you people have been doing this for a while, you might know, and you might find this like super low level. But for those of you who don't really know anything about it, I just want to give you, a few of the things that you can really look at to do for your channel to really, drive results. So I'm going to go ahead and start a screen recording just so I can kind of like pop this in as I go through here. I just wanted to pull up a couple examples first just to show you I'm not completely full of shit. So this is a search I just did the other day for the Patagonia Black Hole Hip Pack, which is one of the videos I did a few months ago back in September. So it's showing up currently as the second video result when you do the search on Google. And then when I search for the same thing within YouTube, and again, I'm doing this in incognito, so there's no personalization taken into account. But instantly, I'm the first result on YouTube. So, that just goes to show you, this is something I just followed my best practices. I did this 4 months ago, and it's still showing up #1. Right now, I did another search for Peak Design Camera Cube. So pop that in here, and I'm currently showing, right now I'm in third. It looks like it shuffled a little bit, but it's Peak Design and then me. again, this is a channel with less than 600 subscribers. That's kind of crazy. So let's see where I am on YouTube. So I just did another search on YouTube for the Peak Design Everyday Sling 6-liter, and I'm showing up right here, second row, fourth video. So there's a lot. And let me see the video that started off, it's still showing up or not. Yeah, so this is kind of crazy. So I used to be #1 on YouTube, but again, this video is from 6 years ago, and this is the follow-up video I did. The original doesn't look like it's oh, here it is. The original is showing up from 8 years ago. Currently has 91,000 visits, or views, I should say. So enough yapping. Let me get into basically the kind of the top areas that you should really focus on. So the first thing you really need to do is do your keyword research to really dive in to see how people are searching for the product or the brand that you're going to cover. Lots of times the way that you search isn't going to be the way that somebody else searches. So it's really good to see a lot of these variations that are in there. And there's a lot of options that you can use. Like if you just want to go an easy route, you can go to Google and just see what related searches are to your product. Lots of times, if you hop over to Google and you start typing away, it'll give you some options as far as what people are searching for related to your product. So as you can see, I started typing in Patagonia black hole. There's all these different options that start coming up and the auto suggest. That's one way to do it. That's kind of like if you don't have access to any tools, I guess you can do it that way. What I recommend specific to YouTube is checking out some of the tools called either TubeBuddy or vidIQ. And basically what they do, when you go in to set up your video and you're writing your title and description, when you get down into the advanced options where the tags are, it's 500, or you can add as many as you want, up to 500 characters. So, typically you might think of the first few and you can pop in there, but using these tools so TubeBuddy, all of a sudden there's all these recommended keywords in this down below where I can just click on these and add them into the tags for my video. So that's one easy way to really see what else is out there, what makes sense to really add in there. Because, you want to make sure that you're really optimizing or including your primary keyword in the title and description of your video when you're uploading this to YouTube. So that's the first option, or first suggestion, is really doing your keyword research, finding those tags and making sure you have something that, people are actually searching for. Because for this example, I would never rank for Patagonia by itself. I would never rank for Patagonia bag, but I would rank for the very specific product name, which I am for Patagonia Black Hole Hip Pack, which is the long name of this product. So by getting that full name in here, you're going to show up, or you have a much more better chance to show up than you would if you were just going for something like Patagonia, which, there's a million videos about that. So once you get that keyword that you really want to focus on, the next thing you want to do is really make sure that you're writing that into the title tag. If your title tag contains that targeted keyword that you're going to go after, that tells YouTube that, chances are this video is about this keyword that's in this title. You're not going to put something completely irrelevant in there. If you have a video about sneakers, you're not going to write a title tag having to do with a car, because that would make absolutely no sense. So you want to make sure it aligns as best as it can, your targeted keyword aligns up with the subject matter of your video. The same thing with the description. You want to write a description on here about your video using that keyword again, but in a natural way. You don't want to just shove a bunch of keywords in here and make it sound like it's keyword, keyword, keyword. You want it to flow naturally. But again, you just want to have a couple mentions of that keyword telling YouTube this video is about your targeted keyword. In this example, the Patagonia Black Hole Hip Pack. So the next thing I want to touch on after that is getting into thumbnails. Now, I hate doing thumbnails because it's kind of a pain in the ass, and it's this is maybe me talking here, but one of the things that drives me nuts is when you always see the YouTube, more the more popular YouTube videos where all their thumbnails are and it's some text above it or something like that, or they're pointing at something, and it's I hate that, but apparently it works. Your thumbnail is basically your creative to get somebody to click through to your video. If we were doing a paid search campaign, this is the equivalent to your ad copy. If you're running a traditional media campaign, this is your banner ad. You want to entice someone to click through to your video. I found, and I don't know if this is a result of my thumbnails just being awful, but a lot of my original videos from years ago, didn't have thumbnails, but they have the highest amount of views. A lot of the ones now, I'm doing thumbnails just because Google and YouTube specifically, they want you to they want to make sure that you're putting in the effort, uploading a thumbnail, trying to make it enticing your user to click through. But one of the things to keep in mind with your thumbnail when you upload it is when you go to name the file of your thumbnail, name the thumbnail the actual keyword that you're trying to rank for. So in this case, my thumbnail, the file name is Patagonia black hole hip hack.jpg or whatever, whatever format you're using. So that's another just sign to give to YouTube that this video is about that. When you're uploading your actual video to YouTube, you want to do the same thing with the video file. So change your video file name, right? In this example here, my file name is Patagonia black hole hip hack.mp4. So again, this just aligns with the title, with the description, with the thumbnail name, all contributing to that relevancy of the video for your targeted your targeted keyword. The next thing I want to get into, these are kind of some newer features, and YouTube is constantly rolling out new features for this. Or for YouTube, I should say. Two of those I want to cover are hashtags and the timestamp chapter markers. So you can put in hashtags in your description, and these are gonna cause YouTube to display hashtags in your video underneath the actual video and then right above the description. So in this example, I have Patagonia hip hack showing up. So I have Patagonia and hip hack. Those two hashtags are showing there. I think 3 is the max that it'll display, but I went with 2. The other thing to really make sure you're leveraging are these chapter markers or timestamps, just to give people chapters that they can click through in your video. So an example of this is, there's intro, there's like an overview, the features, what can it fit, and then like a wrap up. So you want to make sure that you can leverage all of these different options that Google's giving you, just so you can give as much information as possible to YouTube, so they know what this video is about. So another thing that Google typically does, and this applies to both search web pages and videos, is they give a little bit of a boost to freshness. So all things being equal, if there's 2 videos about the same product, if one is newer, they're probably going to bump that one up a little bit higher. So you want to make sure when you're going through recording date and location, you update that. You pick the right, as close to the right category as you can get. I know YouTube categories are kind of all over the place. Usually when I'm doing like bags and stuff like that, I'll put it in the travel section because typically people are looking for bags for travel. There's, a lot of this other stuff is for education. I'll put in there. It's just the options are kind of slim, so you kind of got to do your best there. The ones I would stay away from are things like people and blogs, because that's where you're going to have everybody showing up. But, all of my guitar videos and gear videos are under music. There's sports, gaming, people and blogs, comedy, entertainment. So there's a ton of things you can do. How to and style is another one. So that's another area to really make sure you're really taking advantage of. And so the other great thing is if you're using a tool like TubeBuddy or vidIQ, which I mentioned, lots of times they'll give you all these plugins when you go to your YouTube Studio page, and they'll basically tell you what you're missing, what you should be doing. There's a checklist here where it's like close captions manually, which for my clients, we do it because a lot of these videos deal with really technical information and I have to make sure they're right because YouTube never gets it right. But for my videos, I'll trust YouTube to do it. Monetization, it's not enabled. That's usually the best practice. I can't because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. This probably, they give you, a little bit more benefit if you share this or reply to comments. So that's another thing is, if people comment on your videos, make sure you're replying to these comments. Lots of times in these videos, you always see people telling you to smash that like button or do this or that or reply, hit the bell for notifications, all that crap. And the reason they do that is to get your video served up more by YouTube. So the more you do that, the more it's trying to drive engagement. YouTube looks at engagement. They want to see that your video is actually useful to people. So, they'll show it more. If people find it useful, everyone's liking your video, you have 100% likes, they're going to give you a boost. If your watch times are longer for your videos, they're going to give you a boost. So there's a lot to really take into account. But when you go through this this, your page when you're uploading the video details, make sure you're taking advantage of just about everything that you possibly can on here, because it's just going to help. Just about every video I've posted in the past year is ranking in like the top 3 search terms for what I'm targeting. Even though you don't have subscribers, you can still get the views. My channel, again, I have low subscribers, but I'm not really active except until this past year. But most channels have an overarching theme, so all their stuff is the same content. I'm doing this just for the hell of it. Like, I just have fun making videos. It's more of a hobby, so I make videos about what I want. That's why it's about guitar equipment. There's stuff about travel and like different bags, because I'm obsessed with bags and tech pouches and organization. There's stuff about cameras and drones, because that's what I'm into. And then there's some of the short films I've done, because I got into filmmaking in the past couple of years. So my channel's kind of all over the place. Typically YouTube wants a channel to be about a subject just to give more relevancy to all your videos. So if you're really going for like a ton of subscribers, you want to focus on getting as much as you can into kind of building an audience around a singular subject, as opposed to trying to just focus on like the one area, which again, I'm not really trying to grow this channel to be 1 million subscribers. I'm just trying to make stuff I like, and I feel like it could be helpful. Hopefully this video is one of them. I know I've been rambling a lot, but I'm just going to boil it down to title tags. Do your keyword research. Make sure your title tags and your description are optimized for search using the keywords that you decide on. Make sure you're using thumbnails and you're naming your thumbnail and your actual video file with your keyword in it. Make sure you can leverage one of these tools like TubeBuddy, vidIQ. There's free options for both of those. There's a paid option that gives you more features, but just try it out, see what you like. Yeah, make sure your descriptions are written naturally and contain your keyword as well. And then make sure you're using everything Google offers you. So hashtags, chapter markers, anything that they roll out at your disposal, make sure that you're finding a way to use that, just to give as much information as you can to YouTube. Again, it's the biggest search engine. They want to serve up information to users that are searching, so it only helps them help you if you give them as much information as possible. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot. I kind of went on and on and on. Since I do this for a living, lots of times I'll throw out terms that I just assume everyone knows, and I probably did it in this video. So if you have questions, for the love of God, leave them in the comments and I'll answer it. You can even smash that like button if you want, but let's not get too crazy. Yeah, if you have any more questions about anything having to do with YouTube search or YouTube optimization, it's what I do for a living, along with a lot of other things in digital media. But hopefully this helped a little bit. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you later. See ya.